We are facing another big week coming up. Last week of the month, as last week and first week of the month is always very volatile. Coming up next week is the last week of the month. As we have seen that past week was extremely volatile due to some high impact news has been released. Now this week is gonna be continuation of that. Now if we look at the news calendar coming up this week, initially USD and then AUD and ZD, Euro, CAD and dollar. So this news coming up will make those pairs along with the USD and gold very volatile. And also later followed by in the new month will be another big week for JPY, which also will have an impact in the upcoming week. So we will be looking at all those pairs that we could see in the upcoming week trading opportunity, starting with the DXY and all the pairs including gold, indices as well as WTI. This is Forex Wizard from Forex Trading Wizard Academy. I will be doing a complete multi-time frame analysis of all the hottest currency pairs that we will be looking to trade next week. The list is not longer, but still I have put a time stamp in the description area. But I'll suggest you to watch all of them. As you have seen in our previous weekly Forex forecast, most of the pairs did exactly according to the analysis. Now before I begin this weekly Forex forecast, guys, make sure that you smash the like button and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't done yet. Without further delay, let's begin this week's weekly Forex forecast. Okay, so let's begin with DXY, as DXY will give us clear direction, removing all the noise from the lower time frame. Looking at DXY, starting with the monthly chart, as monthly, weekly, higher time frame will give us clear direction, removing all the noise from the lower time frame. Now looking at the monthly chart on DXY, what we can see that previous months there is a bullish candle, followed by this month so far the market has initially dropped down and then has gone back up, followed by we can see that the price again approaching the monthly support level. As the market has formed already a long wick candle at the top, we could see that this week DXY after a pullback may drop down to fill that zone and to retest this monthly support, which is the monthly opening and closing. And before the monthly close, we might see potential bounce again to the upside. Now if we look at the weekly chart, we can see that there is a weekly candle that has half body red and half wick at the bottom, as it has formed a long wick at the bottom. And we could see that now DXY may try to fill that wick from the weekly, and with that wick fill we could see that DXY coming down this week after initial pullback to the upside. Now if we look at the daily chart, we can see that from the daily perspective there was a drop, a very narrow pullback, another drop. Now it's forming narrow dojis. So with the doji formation, what we could see that on DXY with the market open, we might see initial bounce and then expecting for the price to come down to fill that long wick at the bottom. So if we look at the intraday time frame on DXY, what we can see that from this lower time frame there is a bounce here, and in that zone there is a long consolidation. Now after this kind of consolidation, what I think that DXY might go back up again to grab further liquidity, and then we can expect for the price to come down to create a new lower low. So this could be the wave on DXY in the upcoming week, and we might see that the price is closing somewhere here as a monthly doji, as there is a monthly close will come. So we can expect initial bounce and then drop down, closing as a monthly doji. If we look at the monthly, we might see that a monthly bullish doji or bearish doji on DXY. So based on that, we will be looking at most of the USD pairs, how they might behave, starting with GBPUSD, starting with again monthly chart on GBPUSD. we can see that from the monthly perspective, this is the monthly price action on GBPUSD. So we are expecting on DXY to initially bounce and then to drop back before the monthly close. So what we could see on GBPUSD, that the price might try to retest this level, and then we could see the price again remaining bullish. Now if we look at the weekly chart, what we can see that from the weekly perspective, this is the weekly candle on GBPUSD that has a long wick at the top. What I think that with the market open, we might see that initial pullback to the downside, and we'll try to fill that weekly long wick at the top. Now if we look at the daily chart, we can see that from the daily it is still maintaining series of higher low, which is potential bullish market structure. And I think that as the bulls getting long wick at the top, we might see that the price will try to grab liquidity from the bottom before bouncing back to the upside. So if we look at the intraday time frame, as you can see, the market is maintaining a bullish market structure here. With that bullish market structure, expecting initial breakdown from this trend line. If we draw this trend line here on GBPUSD, we can see that the market is respecting this one as a support here, support here, support here, and also support here, which is a typical bullish market structure. We'll be waiting for a break of structure, and then we could see that GBPUSD again bouncing back to the upside before the monthly close. Now this could be the wave on GBPUSD, and based on this pattern, we will be looking for trading opportunity from the zone once we see the market is behaving in the way we want to trade. Now looking at the euro dollar, again looking at the monthly chart, we can see that from the monthly perspective, this month's euro dollar is also forming a monthly doji. We can see that here euro dollar, so far there was a bearish candle on the monthly. The price is now where it has started its journey. Now what we can expect in the upcoming month, for the upcoming week, for the price to retest this monthly candle and then to drop back down again. Now if we look at the weekly chart, we can see that from the weekly perspective on euro dollar, there is a drop back to back two dojis. Currently the price has formed a candle that has a long wick at the top, expecting euro dollar in the beginning to come down for a pullback and then to go up, fill that wick before the monthly close. Looking at the daily chart, we can see that from the daily perspective, euro dollar has formed this bullish market structure, expecting for the price to come down for a deeper pullback. Last day of trading week, we saw a narrow, very low volatile doji that could lead this price to come down again to break some of this level, and then we can expect for the price to go ahead and fill that long wick. If we look at the daily chart on euro dollar, we can see that the market is still maintaining series of higher low, and this is the daily doji, and this is the support level on euro dollar. As soon as we see that euro dollar has dropped below this level, we can look for potential bullish opportunity on euro dollar. Now looking at the intraday time frame, we can see that from the lower time frame, here is euro dollar is maintaining a typical bullish market structure. There was a huge bounce, and the price is now consolidating in that area, and we could see that initial breakdown and break any of this structure, any of this support. We will be looking for potential bullish opportunity on euro dollar. Based on that price action, we will be trading over the week. Let's see how we can find opportunity. Looking at the AUDUSD, again looking at monthly chart on AUDUSD, we can see that from the monthly previous months, there was a huge red candle, followed by this month we see that so far AUDUSD has formed a potential doji. Now this is the monthly high on AUDUSD, and this is the monthly opening and closing. Now if we look at the weekly chart, we can see that from the weekly, so far after back to back 2 weeks of doji, this week the market has managed to bounce to the upside, has formed a long wick at the top, and I think that this week we might see that after initial pullback, the price might try to fill that long wick at the top. Now if we look at the daily chart, we can see that from the daily the market is maintaining series of higher low and forming very narrow dodges. Now what I think that with the market open, we could see that the price might try to break any of these low, which could lead AUDUSD to gather further liquidity for this bounce to the upside. Now looking at the intraday time frame, we can see that this market is maintaining typical bullish market structure, but at the same time the trend is not going very well. We can see that the buyers are exhausted. That could lead a break of structure to the downside on AUDUSD, and upon break of structure we could see that it gained momentum for another bounce to the upside. This is what I will be waiting for, a break of structure on AUDUSD for potential trading opportunity. Now let's look at dollar CAD. Now looking at the dollar CAD, looking at the monthly chart on dollar CAD, we can see that from the monthly perspective on dollar CAD, so far after previous monthly bullish candle this month, we can see that dollar CAD is forming still a bullish market structure, as the market is coming down for a deeper pullback, expecting another retest of this monthly support before bouncing to the upside. Now looking at the weekly chart on dollar CAD, we can see that from the weekly perspective, the market is forming series of higher low, still maintaining bullish market structure, but at the same time we see that there isn't much strong response from the buyers. That could lead dollar CAD to come down for a pullback before moving to the upside again. Now if we look at the daily chart on dollar CAD, we can see that from the daily perspective there is a structure here, and if we look at this structure, we can see that the market is in a channel which is a bullish channel on dollar CAD, and if we closely look at, we can expect dollar CAD to maintain that channel for long-term movement in the market. So this is what I will be waiting in the beginning of the trading week. What we could see that the market on dollar CAD might break initially to the downside, or we could see a break of structure in that direction. Based on the lower time frame price action, I will be waiting for an entry. So far the market structure is still bullish. If we closely look at, we can see that whenever the market is coming to the support level, getting very strongly rejected to the upside and creating series of higher low. So any kind of liquidity grab from the support level, will be waiting for entry opportunity on dollar CAD. Now let's look at dollar yen, and then we will be looking at gold after dollar yen and GBPJPY. Looking at the monthly chart on dollar yen, we can see that this is a long-term bullish market. If we look at the historical market structure on dollar yen, we can see that there is a bounce, narrow correction, bounce, deeper correction. The market is forming series of higher high and higher low on dollar yen. Now we can see that there was a back-to-back 2 months of drop, followed by another bullish movement here. Now this is the monthly bullish candle. Previous months there is a long wick at the top. Now this month so far the bulls looks very stronger so far, and I think that any pullback to the downside will give us potential entry opportunity to the upside on dollar yen. Now looking at the weekly chart on dollar yen, we can see that from the weekly there is a bullish pin bar here, a very strong doji that has crossed this doji's low from the weekly, and followed by, we can see that now back-to-back 3 weeks of bullish move. Now this bullish candle on dollar yen is also a signal of potential further upside. This is the weekly low, and this is the weekly opening and closing. Now if we look at the daily chart on dollar yen, we can see that from the daily the market is forming series of higher low in that area, and this is the daily candle which is a doji here on dollar yen. We'll be waiting for dollar yen to retest this support and then to bounce back to the upside. If we look at this daily doji, which is also maintaining series of higher low in that area. Now if we look at further lower time frame, we can see that there is a local bullish market structure. The market is forming series of higher high and higher low. Now what we see here is that dollar yen is still maintaining bullish market structure, and any kind of breakup structure, this is the local bullish structure. As you can see from this support level, there is always a very strong buying happen, forming long wick candles. So I will be waiting for a breakup structure on dollar yen. Any kind of breakup structure could give us potential bullish trading opportunity on dollar yen. Now let's look at GBPJPY. Now, like the dollar yen, GBPJPY also a very strong bullish market structure. Looking at the monthly chart on GBPJPY, we can see that this is a long-term bull market as well. There is a monthly candle which is a very strong bullish candle with a long wick at the top, followed by this is another monthly bullish candle on GBPJPY. What we can expect on this candle for the price to come down for a pullback and then to give us another bullish trading opportunity. Now, if we look at the weekly chart on GJ, we can see that from the weekly perspective, this is the weekly impulse, 2 weeks of pullback, and we see that the market again maintaining series of higher low with a very strong bullish market structure. We will be waiting for GJ for a retest, especially this is the previous resistance, turning support can give us suitable entry for further upside on this instrument. Now, if we look at the daily chart on GJ, we can see that whenever the market is gathering liquidity from the daily, having a very strong bounce is a sign that GJ is in a very strong bullish trend. And we have seen that in the past, the market grabbed liquidity and bouncing to the upside. All those circles that you can see are a very strong liquidity trigger, giving a GJ a very high probability setup for potential bullish. I will be waiting for a local breakdown again, like the dollar yen on GBPJPY. We'll be waiting for the price to break any kind of breakup structure, especially along this area is a very important area of value. We'll be waiting for a breakup structure. As soon as we will find suitable entry, we'll be looking for going long on GBPJPY. Now let's look at gold. As you can see, that past week was incredible on gold. We have seen that quite a few huge trade on gold. Now let's see what kind of opportunity we have on gold in the upcoming week. Starting with highest time frame on the monthly chart, we can see that monthly price action on gold signaling potential bullish market structure. Now what we see that so far on gold, this is the monthly candle, and last week of the month we see so far the market has dropped and then the market again has got a bounce to the upside. Currently the price is approaching this monthly resistance level, and the price already tested the monthly resistance and has got a primary rejection from that monthly resistance, expecting for gold to retest and then to drop down for a pullback before bouncing again to the upside. Now if we look at the weekly chart to see a bit more clearer picture, we can see that from the weekly, with the market open on gold, after gathering liquidity, the market has bounced to the upside, form another bullish market structure. Now this is the weekly candle so far, which is potentially bullish, as we discussed in the beginning of the week for gold to be bullish, and we have seen that the market has made that way to the upside and we have secured quite a few trade on that. Now waiting for gold to drop down again before bouncing back to the upside. Now if we look at the daily chart on gold, we can see that from the daily perspective there is a daily bounce, followed by we can see that there is a liquidity candle which is a red doji, and the market has broken that low, and we have seen that there is a huge bullish candle on gold which is signaling potential further bullish move to the upside on gold. And I will be waiting for a deeper pullback here. As this candle is still bullish, we could see that further continuation to the upside on the lower time frame. Based on the price action confirmation, we'll see how the market is behaving. Now if you look at here in that area, we see that there was a consolidation and breakout from that consolidation, and we could see that now the price may come down for a deeper pullback. Now if we look at the 1 hour chart, now this is where the key points here, as you can see on gold, there is a 1 hour inverted head and shoulder and then breakout. Now this inverted head and shoulder, we can look for bullish only if we see that that inverted head and shoulder has been tested this neckline, this previous resistance here, which is support here as a support. If we see that the gold has dropped down to that level, tested this neckline and then has got a rejection, only in that situation we will be looking for going long on gold. Otherwise, if we see that gold has broken down and then completely made it as a false breakout, then we might even look for selling opportunity. So if we see that only gold has tested this neckline, has got a rejection from the support level, then we will be looking for going long on gold based on the price action confirmation. I will be keeping you updated, guys and girls, during the week. Now in the meantime, if you want to trade all of them, gold, GBPJPY, euro dollar, and all the instrument that we are trading in Forex Trading Wizard Academy, we have a couple of spots available to join. You can find link below this video in the description area. You can visit the website and then click join now button to learn and to grow with us as a trader. Now let's see what kind of opportunity currently we have in WTI. Now WTI, looking at again with the monthly chart, we can see that from the monthly perspective on WTI, there is a monthly bullish candle followed by another monthly candle, and this monthly candle is so far showing potential bullish. As the market is coming back down to the monthly support level, we will be waiting for WTI to retest and then to bounce back to the upside to create a new higher high. Now, if we look at the weekly chart on WTI, we can see that from the weekly perspective, this is the weekly move on WTI, and we will be waiting for a retest on WTI. And as soon as we find suitable entry on WTI, we'll be looking for going long. I think that the price might retest and then can expect it to bounce back to the upside. Now, if we look at the daily chart on WTI, we can see that from the daily perspective here, this is the impulse followed by a correction, and we see that there is a consolidation. The market is coming back down to the support level, expecting WTI to drop down and then to bounce back to the upside. Now, if we look at the intraday time frame, we can see that from the intraday perspective, this is the complete bearish drop here on WTI, and this is a significant level of support here, expecting WTI break all of them before giving us suitable entry. If we see that WTI managed to drop below this level, I will be looking for going long on WTI for this potential move to the upside with a high probability trade setup. Now let's look at US30 and NASDAQ. Now looking at the US30, looking at the monthly chart on US30, we can see that from the monthly perspective, this is the monthly price action, and on US30, which is a long-term bull market, if you look at, this is the huge bullish candle followed by, this is the monthly candle so far is bullish. What is going up is likely to go up. That's the law of trading. Now if we look at the weekly chart, we can see that from the weekly time frame, back to back 2 weeks of long week candle has given US30 a potential bullish structure, and in that area I will be waiting for a pullback before we look for another entry on US30. Now if we look at the daily chart, we can see that from the daily perspective, there is a liquidity grab, a bounce. We have seen another back-to-back 3 long week doji has given US30 a very strong momentum. We will be waiting for a local breakdown again before we can enter another trade on US30. Now looking at the lower time frame, we can see that there is a gap opening here and there is a big bounce followed by a narrow correction. We'll be waiting for a break of structure, especially breaking below this doji is where there is a high liquidity zone. Any drop below this level, we'll be watching price action for potential confirmation for this potential bullish move to the upside on US30. Now let's look at the NASDAQ. Let's see what kind of opportunity we have. Now looking at the monthly chart on NASDAQ, we can see that from the monthly perspective, this is the monthly impulse on NASDAQ. And so far also NASDAQ showing very strong bullish market structure. If you look at this monthly candle, it's a full body green, and any pullback to the downside will give us another opportunity for movement to the upside on NASDAQ. Now looking at the weekly chart, we can see that from the weekly, the market is gathering liquidity multiple times in that area. So whenever the price is breaking this weekly low, getting a strong rejection means that the buyers are very active in that market. And this line that we have drawn, this level, this zone is where quite a few candles opening and closing along with this resistance turning support here on NASDAQ. Now if we look at the daily chart, we can see that already the market has crossed the daily 20 EMA and has got bounced to the upside. We'll be waiting for a pullback before moving to the upside on NASDAQ. Now if we look at the lower time frame, we can see that in that area, this is a big move to the upside followed by quite a few narrow dodges in that area. I will be waiting for NASDAQ for the price to come down to grab liquidity, especially retest of this level can give us potential entry opportunity on NASDAQ. So as soon as we will find suitable entry, we will be looking for going long on NASDAQ with a high probability trade setup. Now these are the instrument that we will be looking to trade along with any other instrument showing a suitable entry. Definitely we will be looking to enter, and I'll keep you posted and updated during the week. So guys and girls, make sure that you subscribe and also press that bell notification. And in the meantime, if you want to learn the strategy that I'm trading and also trade with me in Forex Trading Wizard Academy, you can join us. We have few spots left with highly discounted. You can find the link below this video in the description area. I'll see you there. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.